I started like, I guess, last year in January. Um, I played my first show then, so was already making music for quite some years before, but only took it to a stage last year. So I didn't know Mike at the time, and I'm still doing vocals for another band who is also on Consoling Sounds, Charnia, which is more like doom, post-metal type of music. And I got into conversation with Mike and Nele, and apparently they were interested in featuring my solo music. So I record everything, I master everything. You can definitely hear it when you listen to my music that it's like lo-fi and homemade, but I like the rawness of that way of working. So.
Play in a Storm of Light and have a new project called Ivy, and played in Red Sparrows and Battle of Mice, and was Neurosis visuals guy for 12 years, and I wanted a symmetrical logo that was somehow pronounceable, and felt like that matched the vibe of the music.
Now, after all these years in bands and making visuals,
Storm of Light's taking some time off, and just wanted to pursue some other types of music, and we had a really cold winter, and it was kind of worked out to write some expansive music to get out of the being cooped up for the winter.
We were at this crossroads. It became too big for me to do it as a hobby, and I really, if I wanted to pursue Consoling Sounds, the label, I had to take it to a professional level. But of course, in this day and age, it's suicide to start a label. So we figured out some things and tried to figure out how we could keep this afloat and keep it viable. So we decided to team it up with a physical record store. Well, it was not really the idea to open a record store. It was more the idea we're going to need an office space, because we also have the Consoling agency in which we help out bands, but then they have to come to a place and come and talk. So that was actually our starting point. We need an office space. And if we need an office space, we also gonna need some coffee. And if we're going to have some coffee, and if we're going to have the place anyway, well, then people can come and get their stuff, because people ordered some things on the internet, and they would come and collect it at my place. So it would be a great opportunity to have a place where they can actually come.
I played on a Syndrome record that came out, and that's how I found out about the record label. And there's like a lot of really cool stuff on it, and I just thought this project might fit with it. I'm a creative director. I work with Soundgarden a lot, and I do all kinds of stuff. I've done concert visuals for Jay-Z and Drake and Neurosis and small bands and my weird bands, and but I create album art and concert visuals and music videos, and I do projects where I just do layout for other stuff I'm not creating the artwork for, but primarily it's stuff I create the artwork for and do the layout and finalize.
It's basically just 2 live recordings I made in my bedroom, like where I make all my music. It was very unpolished, recorded in one take, both songs, and later cut up into like 2 different songs. was basically just a representation of what I was doing live at that moment in time. So it's already changed a lot since then. So just really like a capture in time of what I was up to at that specific moment.
We do like our physical releases. We're not that big on digital downloads and stuff like that. Of course, it's you cannot do without anymore, but especially in the genres that we focus on, there are still a lot of collectors and people who really like to have a physical copy of something. So it's really important to us that if you want people to have to buy something physical, that it looks and feels as good as possible. So the aesthetics and the quality of the product is also always paramount to us. So we always try to keep tabs on how things are going to look and feel or whatever. But we're very lucky in that respect because a lot of the bands, if not all the bands we work with, are very visually as well.